Welcome to the Young Patriots TV channel, your leading platform for bold, independent, and unfiltered African analysis and updates. If you're joining us for the first time, we invite you to take a moment to like this video, share it across your social media platforms, and most crucially, subscribe to our channel. Don't just watch, join the movement. Subscribe, support, and stay informed as we navigate the stories shaping Africa today. We begin with a deeply troubling report from Burkina Faso, a nation grappling with escalating security challenges. Verified sources confirm that a newly emerged extremist faction, known as JIM, has launched a brazen and violent assault on a military base in the northern region. The attack claimed the lives of over 50 courageous soldiers and allowed the insurgents to temporarily seize control of the installation. Eyewitnesses describe a chilling scene, with the attackers issuing a stark ultimatum. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, Burkina Faso's leader, must step down immediately or face the same tragic fate as the revolutionary icon Thomas Sankara, who was assassinated in 1987. This is major breaking news, and the situation in Burkina Faso is dire. Disturbing footage circulating on platforms like Telegram reveals the scale of the violence, with images and videos that are both heart-wrenching and alarming. According to reports, approximately 100 terrorists from the JIM faction orchestrated this meticulously planned ambush. The assault not only resulted in the tragic loss of 50 soldiers, but also left the military base in ruins, with infrastructure completely destroyed. The insurgents reiterated their demand for Captain Traoré's resignation, invoking the memory of Sankara to underscore their threat. Our sources suggest that a Western country, which we are not naming at this moment due to the sensitivity of the information, may be indirectly or directly involved in supporting these insurgents. As more details emerge, we will provide updates to ensure you have the full picture. Captain Traoré has yet to issue an official statement, but given his reputation as a resolute and fearless leader, his response is expected to be both strategic and forceful. The silence from other African leaders, however, raises serious questions. Why do our so-called regional leaders rush to align with Western agendas, but remain conspicuously silent when a fellow African nation is under siege? Where is the solidarity, the unity, the urgency that Africa so desperately needs in times of crisis? We urge you to support our mission to bring these critical stories to light. Consider sending a super thanks or joining our channel membership. Every contribution, no matter how small, goes a long way in ensuring that African truth remains at the forefront of global discourse. In another deeply disturbing development, Burkina Faso is demanding answers from Ivory Coast following the suspicious death of one of its citizens, Alino Faso, while in police custody. According to reports, Alino Faso's only crime was publicly expressing support for Captain Ibrahim Traoré while in Ivory Coast. This incident has ignited significant tensions between the two nations, further straining their already fragile relationship. The Burkinabe citizen was arrested on January 10th and charged with colluding with foreign agents, effectively accused of espionage. Ivory Coast authorities claim that Alino Faso took his own life using a rope inside his cell, a narrative that Burkina Faso vehemently rejects. The circumstances surrounding his death raise serious questions. How does a rope find its way into a police cell? Why was there evidence of torture on his body, as reported by those who saw it? The people of Burkina Faso are outraged, and this incident has sparked massive protests in Ouagadougou and other cities across the country. Citizens are demanding justice, accountability, and an end to what they see as targeted persecution of Burkinabe nationals. This case exposes troubling contradictions about democracy in Africa. Is free speech only tolerated when it aligns with the interests of the ruling elite? When did voicing support for a leader become a death sentence on African soil? Where are the African Union, AU, and the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, in addressing this blatant violation of human rights? Ivory Coast's actions are particularly alarming given reports of its alleged collaboration with Western powers to destabilize Captain Traoré's government. Earlier this year, Burkina Faso accused Ivory Coast of involvement in a plot to assassinate Traoré, and now, the targeting of activists like Alino Faso suggests a pattern of hostility. The people of Burkina Faso have taken to the streets, declaring that they will no longer tolerate interference in their nation's sovereignty. They're calling on Ivory Coast to leave Captain Traore and Burkina Faso alone. We encourage you to like this video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. If you believe in our mission to amplify African voices and hold power to account, consider joining our membership community or sending a super thanks. Your support is critical to sustaining independent African journalism. Meanwhile, Ghana has deployed troops near its border with Burkina Faso in response to rising security tensions following the tragic killing of 3 students in the town of Boku, located in Ghana's Upper East region. This deployment has drawn sharp criticism, particularly since Ghana had previously pledged to support Burkina Faso in its fight against insecurity. The killings in Boku, suspected to be a targeted ambush near a school, have reignited tensions in a region already on edge due to a decades-long ethnic and leadership dispute between the Mori and Kasasi communities. The Mori assert traditional ownership and rights to the chieftaincy in Boku, while the Kasasi, who currently hold the title, maintain their legitimacy as rulers. Despite numerous attempts at peace negotiations, the conflict has led to sporadic gunfire, curfews, and a heavy military presence in the area. Boku's proximity to Burkina Faso, just kilometers from the border, heightens concerns about its vulnerability to the spillover of extremist violence from the Sahel. Northern Burkina Faso has become a hotbed of insurgency, with Islamist groups affiliated with Al-Qaeda and ISIS exploiting the region's instability. Ghanaian intelligence agencies have issued warnings that the combination of long-standing unrest, economic hardship, and porous borders in Boku could make it a prime target for radical infiltration. There are also fears that extremists may seek to exploit Ghana's gold-rich areas to fund their operations, a tactic seen in other parts of the Sahel. While no direct links between the Boku violence and Sahelian jihadist groups have been confirmed, the deployment of Ghanaian troops appears to prioritize containment over cooperation with Burkina Faso. Critics argue that this move undermines the spirit of regional solidarity. Is Ghana merely fortifying its borders while watching its neighbors struggle? What does this say about the sincerity of Africa's regional partnerships, which are often touted as pillars of unity? Before we conclude, we strongly encourage you to watch our eye-opening video on the growing threat of genetically modified seeds to Africa's food security. In South Africa, for instance, staple crops are increasingly reliant on genetically modified seeds produced by multinational corporations like Monsanto. Many of these seeds are engineered with genetic use restriction technology, meaning they produce fruit that cannot be replanted, forcing farmers to purchase new seeds each year from foreign companies. Even more alarming is the ability of these genetically modified plants to cross-pollinate with organic crops, spreading their restrictive traits and potentially wiping out traditional seed varieties across vast areas. This phenomenon has already devastated seed diversity in Europe, where hybrid tomato seeds now dominate and are sold at exorbitant prices, ranging from $60,000 to $400,000 per kilogram, sometimes surpassing the cost of gold. If this trend takes hold in South Africa, the nation risks becoming entirely dependent on foreign corporations for its food supply, effectively placing its people in a form of agricultural slavery. The pollen from these genetically modified plants can travel up to 60 kilometers, cross-pollinating with organic crops and rendering them sterile over time. This threatens to eradicate South Africa's organic seed stock, leaving farmers at the mercy of companies like Monsanto, Bayer, and Lima Grain, which owns Seed Company. The implications are profound. Without access to organic or open-pollinated seeds, South Africa's food sovereignty is at stake. A kilogram of seeds could soon cost more than a kilogram of gold, placing an unbearable burden on farmers and consumers alike. It is imperative for the South African government, as well as all citizens, regardless of background, to support local producers of organic and open-pollinated seeds. This is not just a matter of agriculture. It is a matter of national security and self-determination. Disclaimer: this content is produced solely for educational, informational, and analytical purposes. We do not promote violence, hate, or misinformation. Our goal is to foster critical thinking, civic awareness, and peaceful dialogue. This video fully complies with YouTube's community guidelines. If this content has informed, inspired, or challenged you, please like, share, and subscribe. Consider supporting our work through Super Thanks or by becoming a channel member. Young Patriots TV is a vital force, and your support keeps this light shining. Africa will rise not through silence, but through unity, truth, and the courage to speak out. The awakening is here, and it begins with you.
Thank you for standing with us, for standing with the truth, and for standing with President Ibrahim Traoré. In these trying times, your voice is powerful. Don't just watch, be part of the movement. Subscribe to stay updated, share to awaken others, and head to the comment section. Tell us how you feel, what you believe, and what Africa means to you. Together we are louder, together we are stronger. This is Young Patriots TV, and you are the heartbeat of the mission. Thank you.